Hey guys, I'm here with the USpeed dual band wireless router. It is a 2.4 and a 5.0 gigahertz wireless router. That's important to keep in mind because you need to make sure your computer is optimized and uses a 5.0 card if you're going to be connecting to the 5.0 band on the wireless router. If you need one of those, Ustream makes a great USB 5.0 adapter if you're interested in that. Before I install this, it's important to keep in mind, I have disconnected my old wireless router. I'm getting rid of that thing, I'm upgrading to the 5.0 dual band, get rid of that old one, unplug everything. Second, you want to make sure that you connect things to the proper port, the cables to the proper port. So when you have the power cable, goes into the power supply. I am doing the Ethernet installation. You can do a wireless installation. Because I have Ethernet, I'm going to do that. If you're interested in the wireless installation, take a look at the manual. It has a great walkthrough for that. But because I have Ethernet, I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do, power is plugged in. I'm going to have my Ethernet into one of the yellow LAN lines. So I'm going to plug it into LAN 1. This is going to go into the Ethernet in the back of my computer. And then we're going to start the setup through our browser online. Okay, so we're all plugged up here. You can see the power light is on here. It is connected to my LAN, my Ethernet on the back of my computer, as indicated by this. It's connected to the first port, and it says so. And I actually had to wait a little bit to make sure that this, the flashing blue dot came on. Once that comes on, you're going to be ready to go to your computer and start the installation setup. Okay, we're all plugged in and we are going to start the network configuration. The first thing I'm going to do is disable my wireless router, my wireless card, in the computer. I want to do this to make sure there's no confusion while I'm doing my Ethernet setup. Go to Network and Sharing. I'm going to go to Change Adapter Settings, and you're going to see the different connections your computer has. Wireless network, I'm going to disable that. It says wireless network, I'm going to disable that because I'm going to be working on the local area connection network. Keep in mind, this is a web-based setup. There is no software you need to download. There is no software that you need to install. You can open up your Explorer, your Firefox, or your Chrome. I'm going to go with Firefox. And you're going to go to a very specific address. You're going to enter 192.168.0.1. And that is the web address for your router. Here it says dual band and router. The username, keeping it real simple, is going to be admin. You can change that later. The password is admin. One thing you've got to remember, admin, admin. When you click OK, you're going to enter into the online setup. Okay, so we're going to walk through the wizard for the actual setup. If you're an expert, you already know what you're doing, you can go ahead and start getting into each of these settings on your own. You're probably going to want to start with the advanced. But for the rest of us, wizard, click on next. I'm going to click on automatically from network service provider, the second option. I'm going to click next. Here we have the 2.4G mode. This will give a wider range of wireless. The 5G, which will give me faster speeds, and I have the concurrent mode, where both of them are operating at the same time. Keep in mind that each of these modes have 300 megabytes per second when they're individual, but they get split during the concurrent, so each has 150 Mbps. I'm going to select the third one because I do have 5G and 2.4G in my phone. The SSID, I get to name something I want to. I'm going to name it Big Boy. And the security mode by default is disabled. Change that. You want to put it into WPA2. It's very secure, highly recommended. Your key can include capitals or numbers. So I will be little boy 123, and that's going to be my key. That's going to be my password for the SSID Big Boy. So what this means is when I'm looking for my router on my computer, I'm going to look for the router named Big Boy. And it takes a minute for the router to do its thing, and here you can see SSID Big Boy, and we should be able to pick that router up now with my wireless signal, which I will re-enable in a moment. Okay, so we just finished with the setup of the router itself. Now what I need to do is get internet coming to the router, because remember, we're plugged in from our computer to the router, not from the internet to the router. So I need to do two things. One, I need to take it out of the LAN port, and then I need to put it into the blue WAN port. And this is where the internet comes in, and this is where other computers connect if they want a wire connection. Number two, the second thing I need to do, I'm going to disconnect the Ethernet cable from my computer, and I'm going to plug it in wherever my internet comes from. In this case, it comes from this wall right here. So I will go ahead and plug this in and get my internet flowing to my router. And you'll see the lights on here. You can see that I have internet coming in from my WAN connection, and I have the wireless signal pumping out. So now I'm ready to go back to my computer, turn on my Wi-Fi card, and get connected to the internet. Okay, so we just made sure that our router has internet flowing through it. Now what we need to do is re-enable our wireless card. So I'm going to go back to the Start menu, go back to Control Panel, click on Network and Internet, click on Network and Sharing Center, and go to Change Adapter Settings, the same place we were to begin with. I'm going to right-click and Enable. I'm going to right-click here. Oops, let's get rid of that. And Enable. So now I've re-enabled my wireless card. So now my computer can see the wireless signals. I'm going to go down here to where I can see the various wireless networks. And you can see the first two are Big Boy 2.4G and Big Boy 5G. For my computer, I'm going to connect to Big Boy 5G because it has more bandwidth, it's a little bit faster of a connection. When I sign on with my phone, I'm going to use the 2.4G because my phone doesn't have a 5G chip. Same with my iPad. So since I'm using my computer, click on Big Boy, I'm going to connect, and I'm going to put in my password. Little Boy 123. Now this might take a minute while it connects. Here we can see we're connected. I'm going to open up a browser to make sure that I am in fact connected. I'm going to check out Google, see if it lets me go. And here we are. Wireless internet up and running, newly installed router. Okay folks, there you have it, the installation of our USpeed dual band router. I hope it was simple for you to follow, I hope it was easy for you to install. If you still have some questions, what you can do is contact customer service and they will be happy to help you through any specific problems you might be having. Thank you.